Welcome to Resource PNG. Now we begin this program with a look at developments within Puma Energy. Now this week was exciting for the company as it introduced its LPG product into the market. What made it more special was that Puma Energy CEO flew all the way into the country to be a part of this event. Let's take a look at Puma Energy. This week marked another milestone for Puma Energy. It signified the start of the production and distribution of liquid propane gas or LPG into the PNG market. This direct from the company's Napa facility.
We're absolutely excited about this. As I think you've seen today, we've put a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of planning into it, and we know that the benefits it's going to bring to the country as a whole are substantial. You know, taking our Katubu crude, processing it through our refinery here in PNG, out to our people, just completes the cycle. And in the same process, it's going to provide a much better value product to the consumer. It's going to produce a healthier product to the consumer, a safer product to the consumer. So yes, we're really excited. You can probably tell. It's a very good feeling. We've been, as I say, working very, very hard. Walter and his team have worked extremely hard over the last months, and to get this product finally to market in the coming weeks will be fantastic. The product will be going into the market in Port Moresby over the next 2 or 3 weeks. We don't want to specifically say the day we're going in, but we'll be doing that over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're just lining up a couple of elements that we want to make sure the consumer experience is a positive one, and then we'll gradually roll out throughout the rest of the country. It's important for us to make sure that our consumers can get access to the product regularly. We don't want to go out and then run out of product. We know it's going to be extremely well sought after. I think every household will want one of those green cylinders, and that's important to us.
According to Collins, this is just another achievement for Puma, which he says shows the level of commitment that Puma Energy has for Papua New Guinea.
Puma from PNG, and PNG as a country is extremely important to us. We see the opportunity here to build something for the country and ourselves very, very clearly. We see there's a much bigger picture around turning this into a regional hub. And you know, Puma Energy in Papua New Guinea is probably one of the 3 or 4 largest companies in the group for Puma Energy. So yes, it's a very, very big deal for us. We have some continued expansion plans. As everybody will have seen, we've just invested heavily in new crude tankage. We've invested in new product tankage. Through that process, we've created a whole lot of new jobs. We're just extending the wharf out this end to take larger vessels, which will help us with that. We've got another couple of announcements in the coming weeks, which we hope will excite people as well. And of course, we've also got forward plans around extension of other areas of the refinery as well. So very exciting for us, and a lot to come. Watch this space.
Also in attendance was ICCC Commissioner Paulus Ain, who was given a brief tour of the Napa facility. Although the sale of LPG is not regulated by ICCC, Commissioner Ain was impressed that Puma Energy was broadening its products in the country, which means more choices for the customers in PNG.
So basically, because we regulate the petroleum products, and apart from the core business, which is supplying of petroleum products into our market, they've decided now to introduce LPG product, which is now currently being and we're all witnessing at the moment. So my coming here is just to witness basically that, and then our role, ICCC's role as competition watchdog and consumer protection and all these functions that we have. I think we're basically making sure that what is introduced is it promotes competition in the market. The LPG market, I think it does not come under our regulatory armpit, but basically what we're trying to see is that with the introduction of LPG product by Puma. It will give a good competition to the rest of the suppliers, and eventually we would like to see a reduction in prices and quality of LPG products. So there is no risk involved in terms of what people are getting out as a result of this one. So with the introduction of Puma's product, we believe that there will be a lot of competition occurring in the LPG market. Yeah, surely, definitely, you will. But we're looking forward to a reduction in price, because basically, with a new product coming on board, you're looking at, they aggressively test the market to see whether they're able to survive in the market. Then with this struggle, sometimes, it forces the prices of other products to decline. So basically, we're looking forward to this lively competition in the industry of LPG products. LPG product, I think at the moment, most people are not getting into using a gas. Basically, they are using power and fire with kerosene, and typically it's a lifestyle that we are living in PNG at the moment. But with the use of gas and more coming into the market, I think that'll precipitate the people from rising up and using LPG products. If the product safety, the use of it, because there's involves threat in kids opening up, and all these issues are there. But the product itself will give a good competition and the use of it.
You're watching Resource PNG. We'll be back with more right after the break. Welcome back to Resource PNG. Now we continue the program with a look at agriculture. Now the Rural Industries Council recently made a statement regarding the national budget's allocation towards two key agricultural bodies in the country. Resource PNG was fortunate enough to speak with Rural Industries Council Chairman Sir Brown Bai. Agriculture continues to be regarded as the backbone of the economy of Papua New Guinea. Our people continue to work the land, whether it be commercial agriculture or subsistence farming. The Rural Industries Council is a body that represents the interests of those people involved in agriculture. From the oil palm to cocoa to coffee growers, as well as copra producers, the council aims to speak for all involved. Resource PNG was fortunate enough to speak with the council's chairman, Sir Brown Bai.
I want to say this, that there are two sides to agriculture. You got commercial agriculture, and there is also subsistence agriculture. And both, aspects of agriculture are very important. When there is drought, for example, or when people do not have the money, where do they turn to? It's subsistence agriculture. Subsistence agriculture also forms the basis for an informal economy. Let me put it this way, not only informing an informal economy, but it also provides an opportunity for our people in rural areas to sell excess food to the markets. And that includes the betel nut, which is traded everywhere. So these are, commodities that are extremely important. I maintain that if we develop agriculture properly and sensibly, we will get this country to take off very quickly in a good way.
In the 2016 national budget, the agriculture sector has been allocated 105.1 million kina under the economic sector proportion of the national budget. But the lack of funding for two key agricultural bodies has not gone down well with the Rural Industries Council. Its chairman, Sir Brown Bai, said it was disappointed with the government's decision not to provide funding for Oil Palm Industry Corporation, OPIC, and Livestock Development Corporation (LDC) in the 2016 national budget, two agencies which he says are critical within the agriculture sector.
Despite the fact that there have been increases in the economic sector in the 2016 budget, there are two industries, namely PNG oil palm and Livestock Development Corporation, that were not given any appropriations even from 2015 and again in 2016.
"2016 will be the second year in a row that these two organizations have not received allocations, as both did not receive funding in the 2015 budget. This, according to Sir Brown, is dangerous as both OPIC and LDC are key to growing the oil palm and livestock industries in PNG.
The oil palm industry accounts for about 1.2 billion kina on export revenue to the nation. And there are 19,960 registered smallholders who are involved in planting oil palm. Livestock includes basically piggery, cattle, and sheep, and things like that. There are so many Papua New Guineans also involved in there. So that's why, when I was making those comments, I was cognizant of the fact that we are talking about the real welfare of our people.
However, despite this, Sir Brown has urged all within the agriculture sector to work together to continue to ensure that agriculture remains the backbone of the PNG economy.
It is important that the government and everyone involved in developing PNG must realize that agriculture is a significant contributor in its entirety to the economy and the people.
You're watching Resource PNG. After the break, we take a look at what's been making headlines within the resource sector in PNG. Don't go away. Welcome back to Resource PNG. It's that time again. Let's take a look at what's been making headlines in the resource sector in the country. It's time for Resource News. During the November Parliament sitting, newly elected member for Pomio, Elias Kapovore, raised concerns on environmental impacts that the Sinavit mine had on nearby communities. His concerns were on the back of recent incidents where the mine's property was sabotaged, which had caused anxiety amongst locals.
Mr. Speaker, I have recently visited the abandoned site after receiving a complaint from the landowners. And the current environment is described as the environmental dilemma and a disaster, as all storage containers were vandalized and canvases used in the gold extraction process have ended up in the surrounding villages. The situation, Mr. Deputy Speaker, is, I believe, needed urgent intervention by the government.
Environment and Conservation Minister John Pundari, in responding, pledged to take action against the operators of the mine. Minister Pundari said he would ensure that the company would be blacklisted from carrying out any future mining in the country.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, I am aware of the situation at the Wild Dog mine, where the developer, Niguni Gold Limited, abruptly closed the mine without proper consultation. The developer, Mr. Deputy Speaker, failed its corporate social responsibility. I want this company and its board members to be, if possible, blacklisted in Papua New Guinea, so that they will not conduct any more mining business in this country. such companies which do not have a strong mining background and a strong and proven corporate track record in responsible mining practices. This sort of companies, Mr. Deputy Speaker, should not and should never have been allowed to operate in this country.
However, according to New Guinea Gold Corporation, the company cannot do much as it has been forced to suspend its operations following a national court decision in 2012. The court had found that there had been errors in the process in granting an extension to the term of the mining lease for Sinavit.
That's a very tough situation when your mining lease has been taken away without no fault of our own. The court found the MRA and the government was at fault in the process they followed to renew the mining lease. Everything else that's happened from that decision is that it's had an impact on us. When you don't have a proper title to a mining lease, you are not able to secure financing. We've had about 5 or 6 different investors who tried to bring in to help with funding of this project. They've all left because the issue of title. When you don't have security of title, no one is going to come and partner with you when you don't have that.
Yawago says the company is ready to defend its reputation and is prepared to take legal action against the state if the matter of Sinavit mine lease is not addressed.
The situation as it stands now will be, the matter is with our lawyers and we're going to litigate because we have lost money. It's a very dangerous precedent. It's never happened before. It's the first time it's happening. And we don't wish to go down that path unless the government comes to hand and we work out something here, because otherwise it's going to get nasty. And in the current environment where it's hard to raise money and everything else, an issue of this nature will impact on other projects in the country that are going to access funding in Canada and North America.
The oil and gas industry in Papua New Guinea has gone another step further with the announcement of a new offshore prospect in the Gulf province. The company responsible to develop this project is Twinza Oil Limited.
Twinza Oil has taken a huge quantum leap to consider an offshore prospect, which is new in the industry's dimension in terms of the development of oil and gas. And they will bring to Papua New Guinea a new taste of LNG business in terms of LPG.
Senior project engineer Eric Kowa explains why this project will put PNG on the map in hydrocarbon and liquefied petroleum development.
It's an exciting time as we make this announcement in the country's 40th year. We are opening the offshore of this country for hydrocarbons development.
Kowa said this is a pioneering development project in the country, as it will be the first offshore development, something the PNG Oil and Gas Act does not cover.
The Oil and Gas Act of 1998 is focused predominantly on terrestrial projects. This will be the first offshore development, and with that comes a lot of challenges.
Minister Duban said to cater for such new developments in the country, the national government will consider to review the Oil and Gas Act.
In terms of offshore projects, how do you factor in this issue where in other areas you have landowners who are identified by a social mapping? I don't think the Oil and Gas Act covers extensively well in that regard.
Meanwhile, Gulf Governor Havila Kavo said the provincial government and the people of Gulf welcome the project. However, he said maximum benefit must be given to Gulf province.
I believe that's the best way forward, is to see that the project provinces are given maximum attention and given maximum benefit in the projects that are being developed in those provinces.
Development drilling at Pasca is set for next year, with production starting in 2018.
And that ends this episode of Resource PNG. As always, if you'd like to contribute to the program, get in touch with us via email on resourcepng@mtv.com.pg. You can also visit the MTV website, that's www.emtv.com.pg, where you can find a link to the Resource PNG page. We're also on Facebook. Just search for Resource PNG. Until the next time, I'm Mirabatulo, and this has been Resource PNG.